Okay, so we're on part 2 of making kimchi. So things have sat for a day actually because it's a bit cool in here, fall weather. And as you can see, it didn't go down that much. Sometimes the chard isn't super juicy. Some vegetables like napa cabbage, the Chinese cabbage, will reduce. It will just be down to there because that's just pure water. But this guy isn't so much. And like I said, something like kale is actually less so. So what I did was I made a brine, 500 mils, 2 cups of water, and about, well, 2 tablespoons, but not that well measured. You find that once you have experience with cooking of anything, you don't go so much by a recipe, but basically it's about 1 cup for 1 tablespoon of salt, or a bit less. And that will give you about a 5% solution. It's really about 3 tablespoons per 4 cups of water. So it's better to have it a little bit strong. And so we've cut up some onions. We have garlic here, so we're going to cut this up. And 1 hot pepper cut up. Now, it's all a matter of taste, so to give precise measurements is kind of irrelevant. But I like lots of garlic, so put lots of garlic in there. Now these are the things that really help the fermentation process. Because right now nothing has fermented. The salt in there doesn't really start the fermentation until we get it into a container. And what we will do is we'll put it into mason jars. And that way you can have small portions. So this is really easy to do. You know, it takes the whole process, you know, say half an hour. But if you do, you can do huge quantities also. But it's going to take a lot more time, and to some people it's more overwhelming, so it's nice to do it small. And we'll keep it at room temperature for about 3 days, let it ferment. And the only thing you really have to do is press down and make sure that you get the air out as much as possible. So in some ways it's an anaerobic process, which means an means no air, but there's still air in it, and it's not a big deal. So we're just going to do the 1 pepper, so it's not too hot. So we have our chard here. We're going to mix in lots of nice garlic. That was almost 2 heads of nice big stuff that I grew, and the peppers. And onions, you can use green onions if you have them. You can use the greens of garlic. These things will just help the process. Now, I don't have fresh ginger, which is fine. So I have some nice organic dehydrated ginger, so I will use that. So about a tablespoon. If I were to have fresh stuff, it would still be about a tablespoon or 2. It's all a matter of taste, so you have to experiment and see what you like. So if you like a lot of ginger, then put lots in. And so we just mix everything up, and then we'll add the brine when we put it into the jars. So you need some mason jars and some clean lids. Sanitation is really important for this. So of course you wash your hands and everything beforehand. So normally there'd be a lot of water at the bottom of this if you were doing the napa, the Chinese cabbage, or most cabbage plants actually, like bok choy and stuff like that. So we'll start putting this into our jars now. And what you want to do is to continue to crush the you're going to crush the plant a little bit more, so that opens up the it exposes the fibers so that the salt will get in there. So the salt will help to preserve it, and it will also allow beneficial bacteria to grow. And if you like garlic, you can never have enough. So you can see this stuff is very dry. So that's why we're going to be adding